Hi there, folks, and happy hump day. Yeah, it's Wednesday here, folks. I want to thank everyone for commenting, subscribing, liking these videos that I've done. Thank you all, folks. Hope we get to 100 subscribers. Hope we get to 6,000 views and even more, folks. So the latest TV show that I plan on reviewing is Mercy Street Season 2. Apparently the last episode has made its way online. I think apparently the last episode is in March, of all things. So this season basically begins where we left off, in which basically the hospital is nearly blown up by Frank Stringfield, played by Jack Faley. He realizes that there are civilians nearby, and he also loves Emma for all apparent reason. And then he decides not to blow it up. But apparently twice he tries to kill Mr. Bullen, played by Wade Williams. And apparently both times he survives. First time is through the kidneys, the second time is slash neck. Of course, an anti-slavery activist comes, the name of Charlotte Jenkins, played by Bettina Miller. You all know her from Madam Secretary. She comes to town on the invitation of Miss Finney. Sort sees to realize, okay, these contraband slaves are going to need help adjusting to freedom, but they're also living in squalid conditions, and this could lead to some really serious outbreaks of diseases, because, hey, guess what? Who doesn't want to see the slaves bring diseases to the white people here? That proves the point that they don't mean it to be free. Of course, Diggs, Miss Finney, Miss Jenkins, and a little while, later on, Dr. Foster tried to help these people. Unfortunately, Miss Finney then contracts typhoid, and therefore she has to be sent back to Boston. All the while, Dr. Summers, played by Peter Goretti, gets kicked upstairs. That's because primarily what he wants, and therefore the hospital gets a new chief in the form of Clay McBurney III, played by Price Pinkham, who is basically eccentric. Of course, you also get to see the road Samuel Diggs tries to go and make himself a doctor, or at least go to medical school on the advice of Dr. Foster. This season we also get the Green family again, in which they're pushed for the cliff, or at least that's what Gary Cole says in interviews. Considering that, James Green Jr. inadvertently murders a Union soldier in their home because he was attacking one of their sisters, who was a spy apparently, or not a very good spy at that very most. All the while, the Gary Cole character, James Green Sr., is trying to get rid of the stain of him signing an oath of allegiance to the Union, and he decides, okay, I'll try to broker a form of recognition to either France or Britain on behalf of the Confederacy. That way, both sides can come together and seek a mutual beneficial arrangement. All the while, though, Alan Pinkerton, played by Brian F. O'Byrne, is on their trail trying to figure out, okay, what happened to this missing Union soldier, and basically guns are going missing. And yes, Alan Pinkerton says, whenever he's introduced that he's Alan Pinkerton, basically says, yes, that Alan Pinkerton basically here. If there are two words to really describe this season, it's basically stunningly uneventful. Basically, Mary Elizabeth Winstead character is in 4 episodes this season, and basically 3 of them she's in bed, basically, with typhoid. And it's like, really, was she given nothing to do? Was there nothing really she could be given this season? We never fully understand why Dr. Hale, who basically is incompetent at his job, and Nurse Hastings, who just really wants to be named chief nurse, truly hate McBurney, because in some conversations people say, oh, he's not a very good chief. We never fully get that he's a bad chief, we just get he's eccentric. But people say, okay, we want to get rid of him. In conversation, Gary Cole says the Green family gets pushed toward the cliff this season. Only really James Green Jr. really gets pushed to a cliff this season. I guess James Green Sr. gets mad a lot. But again, you murder someone, that's sort of a very dark edge you go off. If it's a cliff, it's not a very long drop. If there are 2 interesting things this season, it's the fact that Emma Green befriends a priest. One scene they're attacked by this Confederate soldier, and the priest has to kill him, and that's sort of interesting. The only other scene that is interesting is the exchange between Dr. Foster and Mr. Diggs, in which they go to Dr. Foster's family plantation to help his brother with the prosthesis leg. When they get to that plantation, Diggs basically says to Foster, you know, I've never been on a plantation. And Dr. Foster says, yeah, you're not missing much. You clearly see this plantation is not something that anyone probably would want to live on anyway. Or this thing ends with Dr. Foster going to see Miss Finney, and it's January 1st, 1863, and Emancipation Proclamation has been declared. Oh, Mercy Street Season 2, have you seen it? Did you happen to like it? Did you have to care for it all? What's your favorite PBS show right now? As always, like, comment, subscribe, and enrich yourself with knowledge. I'll see you next time, folks. See ya.